The knight spurred his horse and swiftly overtook the procession, riding towards the dark scar in the earth. No sooner had he halted his mount and set his shield upon his arm than the dragon surged from its lair, roaring with a sound louder than thunder. Dalia's hands flew to her mouth, and she cried out as she saw the dragon's monstrous form. In shape, it was half-crawling beast, half-loathsome bird, its scaled head immense, and its tail 20 meters long. Its terrible winged body was covered with scales, so strong and bright and smooth that they were like a knight's armor. The light of devoured stars shone at its breast, and malignant fire burned in its eyes. The warrior knight leapt to meet the dragon, striking the monster with his lance. But its scales were so hard that the weapon broke into 1,000 pieces. From the back of his rearing horse, the warrior smote the dragon with his sword, but the beast struck at him with talons like scythe blades. The warrior's armor split open, and Dalia saw blood pouring down his leg in a bright stream. The dragon towered over its foe, dealing him fearful blows. But the knight caught them upon his shield and thrust his sword against the dragon's belly. The scales of the beast were like steel plates, rippling like liquid mercury as they withstood the knight's every attack. Then the dragon, infuriated by the thrust, lashed itself against the knight and his horse, and cast lightning upon him from its eyes. The knight's helmet was torn from him, and Dalia saw his face shine out from the battle, pale, lit by some radiance that shone from within. As he thrust at the dragon, that radiance grew in power, so that at last it was like the light of a newborn sun. The dragon looped itself around the knight, crawling and biting at his armor and roaring in triumph. Then, as though the thought had come from the warrior, Dalia saw that, no matter how the dragon writhed, it sought to always protect one place in its body, a place beneath its left wing. "Strike, warrior, strike!" she urged. As if hearing her words, the knight bent downward and lunged forward, thrusting his sword with a mighty bellow into the dragon's body. The creature gave out a deafening roar that shook stones from the city walls, and the burning radiance in its breast was extinguished. Its grasp upon the knight loosened, and the lightning faded from its eyes as the great beast fell to the ground. Perceiving that the dragon was helpless, though not dead, the knight untied a long white banner from his shattered lance and bound it around the neck of the monster. With the dragon subdued, the knight turned to the astounded handmaidens and the people of the city, who streamed from its gates in a riot of adulation. The knight raised a hand to quiet them, and such was his presence and radiance that all who beheld him fell silent. "The dragon is defeated," cried the warrior, "but it is beyond even my power to destroy. So I shall drag it in fetters from this place, and bind it deep in the darkness, where it will remain until the end of all things." So saying, the knight rode off with the dragon bound behind him, leaving the scene behind him as immobile as a painting.